Alright, what is up everybody? It is Horse, the king of the nutshot. I'm coming at you live right now. This is my daily documentary of my recovery. So I'm doing a daily vlog documenting my recovery of a CSF leak. That's a cerebral spinal fluid leak. Instead of doing like edited vlogs, I've been coming at you live lately. And tonight I'm gonna, if you saw the title of the video, I'm going to talk about, is it time for me to quit doing stunts? So that's what I'm going to get into. Basically, I'm going to go, I got this comment today that I'm going to talk about, probably kind of ran about it for a little bit. I kind of wanted to say, not that I intend to get emotional or swear or anything like that, but if you're a little kid, and you might want to turn off this video in case I get, if I'm swearing and stuff, and you're not allowed to be watching. I have a completely different audience than what I had before. So I do have some kids. I do have some older people that aren't used to me just getting hit in the nuts and swearing and all this different stuff. So trying to cater a little bit to everybody because I do care about everybody that's watching. But tonight I'm just gonna kind of be trying to be real and just talk. I mean, I'm always trying to be real, but tonight especially, I'm just going to try to get everything that's on my mind out. And I don't have anything prepared, like specifically that I'm going to say. So it's all going to be coming right from the heart, and we'll just see where it goes. So after I'm done, I have the live feed right over here, which people are getting aggressive on already. And but I'm not going to be looking at that because that kind of distracts me. So when I'm done ranting and talking, I'm going to go over and I'll answer your guys' questions live or respond to you live. And so don't feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm going to go back and take a look at everything before I sign off here. So let's just get into it. Back on. That's Ape Fight. They have the Kick in the Nuts song, and I used that, and they gave me permission to use it a long time ago, and they're definitely super kick ass. I don't know any other way to put it. So they have a couple albums out, so if you want to go check out their music, check out Ape Fight. So I'm gonna get into this comment. I'm gonna read it first. Here we go. All right. Eric says, time to change your expectations of your future, of what your future will be. You can do so much more with your life than doing stunts. Why not host a show of stunt videos or parkour? It's incredibly naive to think that you will be able to fully recover from something as serious as a CSF leak. One bad injury and you could be worse off than you ever were. I can't imagine that you don't know this, or that you are so selfish, or that you are selfish enough to injure yourself badly enough to leave your kids to your wife to raise while you are a vegetable. Time to get real, man. You might be the king of physical pain, but you need to toughen up mentally and move on with your life. I was in a really bad car crash, and I know what it's like to lose everything. It's maddening for me to watch a person training to hurt themselves again. Look at shows like Jackass. It's not a viable career path to keep killing yourself, especially once you are badly injured. Time to change your path, or you will waste a lot of time and only disappointment yourself and maybe worse. Or only disappoint yourself and maybe worse. Good luck. So, I'm going to respond to that. And I'll keep it up for a little bit. So here's my initial thoughts. And I want to say that, like, I feel real, I feel really bad that Eric was in a car crash and he lost everything. That's horrible. I also appreciate him reaching out to me and trying to basically help me out, trying to have kind words, trying to do what he thinks is right and leave me a message that will hopefully take me on a better path. Like, I appreciate that. There's just a lot in this message that I disagree with, and there's certain things that I find offensive too. Not that, like, I'm angry that he wrote this comment, but I want to clarify things, and I want to say what I think and where I'm headed, what I think I need to be headed in my life, what like, and where I think I am, where I think I need to go. And I think that's uh, anybody that's been watching me for a long time or just picked up watching me a little bit ago. I, I think it's fair for you guys to know where I'm at. And when you see comments like that, you know, obviously because you go on my videos and you might read some of the comments, because that's what I do when I'm subscribed to channels and I'm watching videos. I like to see what other people have to say. You read something like that and you might wonder, you know, what I think about that. So let me break it down a little bit. And I'm going to say, so the first part, time to change your expectations of what you will be. You can do so much more with your life than doing stunts. Why not host a stunt show or videos or parkour? So basically, I like to say to that is, stunts are not my whole life. I've been a stay-at-home dad for the last 9 years. If anything, doing stunts has enabled me to spend an incredible amount of time with my kids. So I've been able to make money, and I've been able to work off my computer, go out maybe at times when I was filming heavily, once or twice a week. At other times, I was able to adapt and go out like once a month. There's been times where I only filmed like once in half a year. Go out, I was able to make a living and spend the entire amount of time, for the most part, for a long time, the entire amount of time with my kids. Teaching them things, spending time with them, learning from them, kind of just being able to soak up every moment as a parent. So that's something that I will never, ever regret doing. That was the best decision, one of the best decisions I ever made. I saw an opportunity to make a career out of what I do because it's so unusual, and there's just really nobody else doing what I do exactly like I do in my position, and I took advantage of it. You know, after years of people telling me that I'd never be able to have kids and that I'm just basically, why don't you get a job? Where's your security? Where's all this stuff? Like, where are you going to end up? And I did it my way, and it really, really ended up working out. So I run for 4 years now, I've been running a parkour for a ninja program. It's been growing every year. I've almost have over 100 kids this year. It's continuing to grow. I have a passion for doing flips. I've been doing flips for, I was a gymnast since I was 2.5 years old until 12. And then I kind of transitioned to doing stuff like outside, like parkour and freerunning. But when I started doing stuff like that, there was no sport. There was no name for stuff like that. I was just doing flips downstairs and off buildings and going to the gym and trying to do stuff on the trampoline that I thought was cool. And now it's this whole thing that I think is going to end up even being in the Olympics. And it's this whole crazy online thing that ties in with Ninja Warrior and all these different things going on. So that's a huge passion of mine, ultimate goal. And I think realistic goal is for me to end up either running or completely owning and running a gym where I teach parkour and free running and kind of extension of what I do now. And that's something I'm really passionate about, and I'm doing now, and I'm going to continue to do. I also always planned in the long run, after I would be done, or not necessarily done with stunts, but when I started kind of doing less stunts as I got older, as my body would handle it, was I would do other shows, like hosting shows, and I would build that credibility to be able to host a show based off of doing a show where I was more so doing stunts heavily. So, but that's a process, and then you have to build that, and that's very, me being extremely successful off my stunts is, to a certain degree, very lucky. I have to be in the right situation at the right time, and the right thing has to work for everything to work out. So to a certain degree, stunts as a career is my backup plan. Doing the parkour and the free running and the ninja stuff as a career is my plan A. That doesn't mean I stop doing plan B. because I love that stuff, and it's still possible. It's still extremely possible. Like I said, I have been doing TV shows. I've had great success on American Ninja Warrior, and especially America's Got Talent. And I've gone to Paris for my honeymoon, and I got to go to Germany to do stunts. I've been traveling all over the world, all over the United States, doing TV shows, and I've been doing this for a long time. Even last year, I was the closest you can possibly be to getting a show on MTV. I signed a deal. Actually, I signed a deal, and unfortunate circumstances happened that had nothing to do with my show. My show got canceled. I still got paid for half of my show. They paid me for 5 episodes of a TV show that we didn't even shoot because I signed the deal. It was already a done deal. So multiple times producers have looked at me from major networks, and Howard Stern has looked at me and told me personally to my face, and Howie Mandel and all these people in the entertainment industry have told me that I have something special and that I have a shot in this industry. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it would be a damn shame to just let that go to waste. So I feel like I want to say this real quick because a lot of this sounds like humble brags or whatever you want to call it. Like, this is just, I'm just trying to speak from the heart. I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to like put myself out there like that. Like, I'm trying to be realistic about my goals and my expectations. And I think that I've done a really, really good job. Like an from what the expectations were when I started this from people, I have well beyond exceeded everybody's expectations. And the people that have really been there for me the whole time and have been following me and cheering me on know that like I earned it and I have a passion for this, and there's just no way for me to stop now. So off to the next thing. It's incredibly naive to think you will be able to fully recover from something as serious as a CSF leak. So what I have to say to that is I actually kind of did at one point fully recover from a CSF leak. So when I originally got the CSF leak back in 2012, I did American Ninja Warrior with a leaking spine, and then I did America's Got Talent with a leaking spine. And then I tried to figure out what was wrong with me. They couldn't really figure anything out, and I kind of lost hope. And eventually I changed my diet, went vegetarian, almost completely vegan, and just started working out, lost a lot of weight, and continued to eat right and treat my body right so my body was able to heal. And after like a month, I was completely better, pretty much like 100%. And I stayed 100% for almost 2.5 years. Now, in that point, I did some of the gnarliest stunts I've done in my whole career. At one point, I even jumped off a roof. You've probably seen the video. The goal was to go through pieces of wood, nuts first, off a 2-story roof. I overshot, landed nuts first off a 2-story building on a cement bucket, pooped my pants, broke my ribs, found out just recently that actually when I did that I broke my back. Did that and still didn't have symptoms until 2 years later. And what happened basically is when, and this is just completely real, is when this MTV show got canceled for no reason. Well, it wasn't no reason. That there was a higher up change at MTV. New board members basically came in and canceled 23 shows that were on the list in pre-production, and bad timing were a part of that list. New people come in. They don't want the old producers to have shows that are being successful. They want to do things themselves in their own way. They cancel stuff. It was just an unfortunate thing. I was so depressed when that happened. It was because I've been through kind of stuff like that before with TV shows, and they can be heartbreaker. And this time we really thought we had it in the bag. Not only did we thought we had it in the bag, but it felt so right. I had a TV show with my brother and two of my best friends that I've done stunts with like heavily for the last 5 years. And we were just so ready to make this thing. And when it got taken away, it really hit me hard. I gained a ton of weight and really just was in a bad place for about a month or two. But at the tail end of that, I kind of got out of my funk and I started really heavily filming again. The only problem was I was really out of shape and really didn't take care of my body. So after some really heavy sessions of doing some stunts, I began to have symptoms again. And really, actually, you know, even before I started doing the stunts, I started having bad symptoms, if I'm remembering correctly. And then, so I tried to do the same thing this time. I tried to eat better and work out. The only problem is I kept filming. We were trying to get all these different projects out, and I was trying to kind of relieve the stress and kind of get some more things going to help mentally deal with losing the show. And the CSF leak came back, and this time I couldn't get it to go away. So we went through the whole process again. I said, all right, well, hopefully this time I can figure out what the hell's wrong with me. And we started doing tests again, and we finally actually found through the CSF leak foundation, I was actually able to reach out to Duke University, and they actually found my leak. And this time they were able to patch it up, and now I'm in this long recovery, which some people, it takes over a year or 2 years for them to feel right. And I'm on this kind of like fast-paced schedule to try to get me back to where I need to be, because I'm so physical, not just with my stunts, but even just my life in general, and my teaching of my ninja stuff. So to think that it's naive to think that I'll fully recover, no, I don't think it's naive at all that I'm going to fully recover. May I not fully recover? Absolutely, I might not. But I was just having this conversation yesterday, a literal conversation with my wife yesterday, and I was telling her, like, I will suffer to do the stuff that I love. I will I spent the last 5 years. Now there was a big gap in between where I wasn't suffering, but I spent that whole time doing the stuff that I love and suffering through it. The last 8 months before I got my CSF leak repaired, I was doing trampoline, and I was doing flips, and I was doing stunts, and certain times I was suffering, yeah, but I would do that right now. But I'm trying to the goal is to get to a point where I'm 100% and then get it back at those things, but slowly. So I'm not going to just recklessly destroy myself and just repeat the process over and over again. But at the same time, if I'm not repairable, obviously if I'm going to die, if it's going to be so bad that there's going to be immediate death or, really brain damage, then yeah, I'm not going to do that to myself. But from what I've been through and and the symptoms that I've had and the risk, yeah, I will continue to bounce on the trampoline and do flips and take nut shots. Will you see me maybe do an extra risky stunt like the 2-story nut shot with sketchy mats? And no, but will you see me do that same stunt? I did that same stunt 2 years later, or however long, maybe it was a little longer. I think it was 2 years later, I did it in Germany. And then a couple months before that, I did it in Paris. I did that same exact stunt. Landed flawless, but didn't even hurt myself at all. So there's always risk when I'm doing my stuff. But if I'm doing it right and things go right and I have the right amount of safety, as insane as it is, my body's limits are, what I'm capable, now this is luck. I'll say this is luck, but my CSF leak was the only time I've ever been in the emergency room after I got my patch, because I was worried. I couldn't stop throwing up because of my high pressure. I was worried I was going to dislodge my patch. I've never been to the emergency room from one of my stunts. Never. I've never, the one time when I broke my ribs and I found out later I broke my back, I probably should have gone to the emergency room. I didn't. called my doctor. I made sure what the risks were. The main risk was if I couldn't breathe because I would have punctured one of my lungs from my ribs breaking, and that wasn't the case, and I just kept going. I didn't make anybody deal with the fact that I made a decision and then I got hurt. So I think I can get back to 100%. Realistically think I can get back to 100% and start doing stunts again and do stuff. I know that that might not happen, and I know that to continue with this that I could. So it says here, one bad injury and you could be worse off than you ever were. I can't imagine that you don't know this, or that you are selfish enough to injure yourself badly enough to leave your kids to your wife to raise while you are a vegetable. Now, so basically you're telling me that you can't imagine that I don't know, and then you're basically telling me that I'm selfish, that I can't be selfish enough that I would leave myself as a vegetable and I would do that to my kids and family. So you're telling me there's no way that I'm not like that, but obviously I am like that. And I think that's just absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's just like any like a boxer or a motocross rider or even a football player, like any high risk sport or extreme sport or a stunt double or anything like that, where people can get hurt and people can die. But if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing properly, like, there's risk, but like, no, my goal is not to be a freaking vegetable. I know what the risk is fully going into it. I just decided in my life that me doing that stuff, doing my passion, over pushing my limits, living, that's living to me. Doing stunts is living to me, not saying, oh, I'm not going to do something because I'm afraid, or I'm not going to do something because I might get hurt or it might put me back. It's like that too many people live their life getting held back by fear and these expectations that are false, that society puts on you. Fear is what keeps me safe. I'm not afraid. I'm afraid when I do stunts. It puts things in perspective. I love overcoming pain. I love doing stuff that's crazy that people look at and they can't believe it's being done, because so many people in your whole life, and me personally, and I see it all over the place, tells you to hold back from your potential. They tell you when you're a kid to be a dreamer, and then when you actually try to be a dreamer, they tell you to shut the hell up. They tell you that you're stupid. They tell you that you can't do anything. You can't do that. You're going to waste your life away. So you get told your whole life to do things a certain way, and then when you actually grow up, people tell you to not do that because either they're jealous or they have to do it a certain way, so you have to do it a certain way. And I don't want anybody else going out and doing like crazy stunts and hurting themselves and trying to be the king of the nutshot. That's my thing. But there's so many other things that people do or really don't do because of this fake expectation or fake expectations that society puts on them, and people that don't get to live their dreams, people that don't get to do what they want to do, make you feel bad for trying to do what you really should be doing. So there's the other side of it. There's other people that really try to go out and do things and they really shouldn't, and that they're not talented in that area, or they're not meant to be doing that, and they try to choose something and they're stubborn about it. I get that, but there's so many things. So if anything, me being the king of nutshots, me going out and do all these stunts is kind of like a metaphor for those decisions in life. I got a job, I went to school, I got a degree, I got an associate's degree. I sat in an office for 2 weeks and said, if I sit like this, if I do what I'm supposed to do in society, I spend the rest of my life like this, I'm going to be miserable. Miserable doing BS for people, working for other people. No, I'm going to work for myself. I'm going to do things that I want to inspire to do. I want to do things that entertain people. I want to do things that people get excited about, that people can be proud about. So when I was on America's Got Talent, people saw all the hard work that I put in, that I knew personally from my hometown that I grew up with, I went to high school with, my family. They saw all the hard work I put in. They saw me being successful, doing it my own way. And that was so self-rewarding that I can't sit there and say, no, risk. I'm so sick. I'm so sick of, like, we'd be at like a party and I would set up a Slack line, and you got all the older people going, oh, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Oh, that's a trip emergency waiting to happen. Is that really how you live your life? You're just going to not do anything that potentially could be fun or exciting or worthwhile because you're just afraid? I think that is, now, you can do whatever you want with your life, but that is not how I live life. So when you say time to get real, man, it's like I am being more real than I believe that most people are. I am living the real way that you're supposed to. Now, everybody's going to have a different way that is done. But what I'm not doing is I'm not faking myself into believing that I have to live life like society tells me to, where I would be miserable. So you might be the king of physical pain, but you need to toughen up mentally and move on with your life. No, I don't. I need to get healthy, and I'm going to continue trying to pursue my dreams. And if I can't physically, or it's going to make me worse to the point where it affects my family, then no, I'm going to stop. But I'm not going to stop because you told me that was the right thing to do, because society told me that was the right thing to do. I'm going to stop if I have to, because that's what I need to do. I'm not going to be stubborn to the point where I would do that to my family. But I will be stubborn in the fact that if I'm not doing something that I'm passionate about, if I'm not living my life to the fullest, then I'm not going to be happy. So my family comes first, but a big part of my family, my wife, my kids, my dad, my mom, my stepmom, my sister, my brothers, a big part of that is me being happy. I'm not just, it would be so dumb for me just to shut down all the goals and dreams. So no. Time to change your path. I'm not going to get into him. Oh, I wanted to get into this. Look at shows like Jackass. It's not a viable career path to keep killing yourself. That is such an incorrect statement. One guy from Jackass died from a substance, a drunk driving. Bam has had some substance abuse that hopefully now he's starting to get over, like any Hollywood star. But in reality, all of them have been extremely successful. Steve-O is one of the craziest people to ever live on this earth. And he put his body through hell with drugs and all the brutal stuff he's done to his body. But I was just sitting there reading his comments on one of his videos the other day. He was getting the same thing. All these people telling him, all right, man, we've seen enough. You need to take care of yourself. You don't need to prove anything anymore. You can stop doing stunts. Like, we don't want you to die, all this stuff. And it's like, I'm sure he appreciates that to a certain degree, but he's been vegan now, I think like 8 years. He's in a really good place. He's doing really, really good things with his life. He's still doing stunts, and he's doing it because he's passionate about it. He's not doing it because he needs to, and because he's trying to make money, and like he needs to prove that he's the gnarliest person in the world. He's doing it because he loves it, and he's passionate for it, and he would die doing it. He doesn't want. I've talked to Steve-O. I've heard it, and I've heard him speak on this. He doesn't want to do gnarly stunts where he's going to end up in the hospital. That's not what his goals are. Every once in a while, he's going to do a crazy stunt because that's who he is. But like, he wants to just do wild things and entertain people. He wants to not get hurt. And that's the same thing with me. It's like, I want to do crazy stuff. It's not that I don't want to get hurt. I'm smart about my choices, and sometimes, yes, I make a decision to do something that's chaotic and has an extra chance to have injury. Yes, that happens. But in the majority of the things I do and how many times I do it, I don't get very hurt. Actually, I get more hurt doing my parkour stuff that at this point is like a legitimate thing to do with mats and foam pits. If anything, what I need to do is I need to just take nutrition more seriously, consistently, and keep myself in shape. And it's something that I do care about. But continue with the Jackass guys, like they have all been extremely successful. It was a really viable career for them. It was so viable that it's difficult for stunt people to get a show like that because they were so successful. They all made so much money and were so loved and did so many things for so many years. Especially somebody like, you talk about Johnny Knoxville, like he created his whole movie career off of Jackass. And that statement is just so wrong. And luckily, none of them have been seriously injured to the point where it has ruined their life off of stunts and their Jackass career. It's done amazing things for them. And I grew up watching Jackass, and it's the closest possible thing to what I do is Jackass. And them being as successful as they have been is a big reason why I decided to go after my career, because I saw success, a path for success there. And it's different for everybody, but I mean, you can't sit there and say that their career ended up ending on a bad note, or that that it was a waste of time, because that's just completely incorrect. So, time to change your path, or you waste a lot of time and only disappoint yourself, and maybe worse. Well, I can guarantee you one thing, that if I would have made that decision 5 years ago, it would have been the biggest regret of my life. So I'm not saying that maybe I couldn't go out and find other passions. I'm also not saying that I don't try to go out and find other passions. I am completely open to doing anything that makes me and my family happy. I can tell you that I've a couple times stopped doing stunts for personal reasons. I took more priority in making money a few times. I started editing videos. I started editing weddings, making cash, to pay bills more, to be more helpful when a time like that was needed. Every time I've made decisions like that, I've always come back to stunts, because it has made me who I was, or who I am today. I have an extreme passion for it. It makes me happy. And I don't know, it makes me a better person doing what I love. And I don't think I need any more of a reason to that. As long as I'm being realistic about my expectations, I don't need more approval or reasoning than how I feel, how it makes me feel, how it makes my wife feel, how it affects my kids. Like the personal decisions for me personally, and how it affects my personal family. That's the only expectations that I seek and that I'm looking for. So I left a comment back to Eric earlier, kind of expressing that a little bit, and I kind of ended it with, like, so you can sit there and say, you told me so all you want if I end up being a vegetable, but you can't say that, because I know the risk. And I'm willing to risk a lot of things to not live in fear, to not be told by society how to live and what to do. And I'm living regret free. I'm making decisions, smart decisions for myself to live regret free. So I don't get, hopefully, I don't get to 70, 80 years old. I'm sitting there looking back at my life and I'm regretting, oh, you could have made something of yourself there. You could have done this and you could have done that and you didn't. And you really wish you had. I don't make choices like that. I make smart choices so I don't have regrets at the end of the day. So I am not going to quit doing stunts. I'm going to try my best to get fully healthy first and go through this whole process and get myself healthy and then back in shape and then ready to go to hopefully spend the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years, however it is, doing stunts, doing flips, doing the things that I love as a career and as a hobby. And hopefully, well, I know at the end of the day, no matter how that plays out, I won't regret that decision. And hopefully it turns out the best, because I really believe that if you put your heart and soul into things and you have realistic expectations, things don't always work out the way you plan them to or the way you want them to, but they always work out in the best. It's when you don't take the first step out the door. It's when you don't get back up. It's when you give up. That's when your life can change to the worse. So thank you for listening to my rant on this. I didn't swear too much, which is good. But I definitely got a little passionate and emotional there. So again, Eric, no hard feelings, and I don't expect, I hope you would not have any hard feelings back. I would hope that you listen to my rant and you understand a little bit more where I'm coming from. I know that a lot of people watch me and they go, oh man, this stupid idiot that just gets hit in the nuts and he just doesn't think and he's just an a-hole, crazy a-hole. And I don't think that's who I am. And I think there's a lot of thought and a lot of passion and a lot of good spirit that goes into what I do. And I hope at the very least you can respect that even if you don't agree with it. So, all right, let me go through some of these comments real quick and see what we got. All right, Will Dirty Jersey, dude, what is up? I appreciate you. You've left a lot of comments here. I appreciate you tuning into all my videos lately. I've been looking at your tattoo work on Instagram. Let me see if I can find it. And I'll give it a shout out to your Instagram for sure. I don't know it offhand, so I'll look for that and let me continue going through these comments. Stoke2K says, I like the updates. Hope you start feeling better, Horse. I appreciate it. I know a lot of people are tuning in from my past stunt work and my nutshots, and they want to see crazy things. I was hoping that you guys, and I don't expect everybody to, but care enough and would like to see who I am as a person. And, everybody has down times in their life. Everybody has to maybe get injured and go through recovery, whether it's a physical injury or a mental injury with something drastic happens in your life. And, so maybe you benefit from just being able to relate to somebody like me, because I'm just trying to be as real as I can. Joe Lund says, don't stop, Horse, you rock, brother. And I appreciate that. Yeah, we got some comments about Ape Fight. Again, I shouted them out in the beginning. They've been super cool about me using their song. I mean, it's like the perfect song. It's pretty much my theme song. Scabby5 from Will again needs to. Scabby5 needs you. Hope you recover by the end of the year. Yeah, I'm hoping by the end of the year. And Scavenger, if you haven't watched the Nub TV Scavenger hunts, you have some really gnarly videos that are sitting there waiting to be watched. Hours of entertainment. So you go to Nub TV, search Scavenger Hunt, and I think we have 4 scavenger hunts up that are really long videos. There's some really crazy things go down. Stone 2K says, you don't have to do stunts, Horse. You can teach parkour and ninja stuff on here. I bet you will get a lot of views. So I can't really teach my parkour stuff on YouTube because just the kind of liability and the permissions to go through with parents. I do plan on doing some more parkour and free running stuff on the channel when I'm healthy. I do have some really, really talented kids that I could probably get permission to put stuff on. And I have before, if you watch some of my vlogs from last year, and a couple from late last year, forget when, I do have some videos up on my channel of me going to the trampoline park and to the gym where I work out and throwing down a little bit. And if you've been following my Instagram at Nasty the Horse for a while, I do have in the past, obviously not lately because of my injury, but post more flips than I do here on YouTube. Baby Wolf, Mama Wolf, my #1 fan, says he's a Jackie Chan man. He pushes himself to the limits. Jackie Chan's another one. And if you ever want to watch some really gnarly videos, go watch Jackie Chan old stunts or top 10 stunts on YouTube. Guy's a complete maniac, and I doubt anybody was watching Jackie Chan in the movie and telling him it's time to step it down and stop what you do and stop doing stunts and stop doing movies. That guy is just unreal. Master Steak Dude said, I just unsubscribed. Thank you for letting me know. So I have to mention this a little bit because today, before I got this comment, actually, let me take this down. Before I got this comment, I was going to do a video, and I probably will in the future here, on my channel and how it needs to, it's dying, it's dead. Channel's dead. And how people like to go on YouTube to other people and tell them that their channel is dead. And I've seen this on channels that get millions of views. And then you have people that do it on people that get hundreds of views. I tell them to channel's dead, that their content sucks, that they're unsubscribing. And it's like, what the hell? What the hell is the freaking point? I've never had the urge to go, even if I thought that somebody was doing something that was horrible, and call them out and insult them and tell them that they sucked. Tell them that their channel sucked. Waste my time with that negativity and bringing people down. And I like to bring it up because sometimes I get worked up about it, but usually I'm thinking like, I've been successful. So I have a reason that I can stand there and be confident and be strong and not really care and brush those things off and not really worry about what people are saying. You know, some people, there's a good amount of people that are just being haters, and there's some people that are just trolling and they really don't even mean what they're saying. But you do have these people that are hating, and I worry about, it's like, cool, do that to me. I'm okay with it. But there's somebody out there that you're probably doing it to that runs a channel that you literally are breaking their heart saying something like that, and that's just really messed up. There's no reason for it. I always say, like, you always lose. You're the loser in this situation. You can never win an argument on the internet if you're trying to bring somebody down. You just automatically lost by having that type of outlook, that type of attitude. Oh, let's see. I wish I knew how to say your name properly. Probsty13. I've been around for a long ass time. Started off as nutshots when I was much younger. Now I'm older and cool with you just hanging out with us. And I think I like that too. I don't want to be monkeys flipping for quarters just doing stunts. I obviously want to do stunts. Um, I I like connecting with you guys. I don't do YouTube for views. I would love views. I would love to make money off of ads and have this be an income, because at times my YouTube has been a part of my income and has been nice, and it's nice to get like a little check here and there. So it's not like I don't want views, and it's not like I don't want my channel to be popular, but more than anything, I want to feel like I'm being positive and engaging in the people, especially the people that have been around for a long time and have been fans and have been watching videos and have been supportive. I want to get on and I want to talk to you guys. So even when I get back to being 100% healthy and I'm doing stunts and I'm not doing live feeds at all, like every single day, I am going to stay in touch. I am going to be engaging with you guys. One of my, I talked about earlier about my regrets. One of my regrets is being so inactive on my YouTube the last couple years because I was trying to pursue other things, and I love the engagement, and I look forward to trying to send a positive message and really entertain you guys no matter where I am in life and what I'm doing, and just hanging out with you guys on a Friday night is really cool with me. So Stoked say, I don't believe this channel is dead, just different. It is different, obviously, because I'm hurt. And it's always going to be different from what it used to be. And a big reason why it's going to be different is because to be honest, before I did some of the big TV stuff I did, I had no confidence. I was afraid. I was embarrassed of my laugh. I was embarrassed of how I talked. I was embarrassed of screwing up. I had all these fears that held me back from putting out certain videos. And so much so that there was times where I edited full videos and it was so hard on myself that I didn't put them up. So now my goal, especially when I'm not doing stunts now, is screw it. If I make mistakes, if I am down in energy, if I just think I straight up suck, I'm just gonna put it out there the way it is, the way it happened, and whatever it is, and just live in the moment and live in that moment with you guys. That's my goal. Colin Barry says, wish I could stick around but live in the dream, horse. You're a legend and you're an inspiration. I watch you and the other boys all the time and it raises me up constantly. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you had to jump off, I'm sorry that you had to jump off. Maybe you can catch it later. I don't expect everybody to be able to watch 20, well, this is like a 50-minute video. I don't expect everybody to come on. I look at it this way. When I buy a movie that I'm really into and I buy it on Blu-ray, I personally get on and I watch all the bonus features. I watch, the director's commentary, like all the deleted scenes. So that's where I kind of see my channel right now. This is the deleted scenes of my life right now. The bonus footage, the real me behind the stunts. And then hopefully when I'm all healthy, we'll get back to the more entertaining side of it. Now that we've been here and we've grown this kind of relationship, this will stick around. But if you're only in it for the entertainment side of it, you can just watch that, and then you can bypass these videos. I don't get offended. I put this stuff out there, and I don't want you to watch it because you don't like it or you find it boring. If you're interested and you want to be a part of it, then awesome. That's when I'd ask you to subscribe. And if you want to watch just the insane stunts, and subscribe and only click on it when it looks like it's a wild video, and then skip over the ones that are vlog style. Got one said that you were God. From GW2333, you're a god. I look like Jesus right now. You know, when I'm skinnier, I get called Jesus a lot more. I actually have been getting Jesus a little bit lately. But I look like a heavy Jesus, which I'm not super pumped about. Stop lying, horse. When you buy a movie, you get kicked in. You get kicked in. Then it's horse goat. Wait, what? Stop lying, horse. When you buy a movie, you kick it in. Then it's horse goat. Horse's goat. You know what? I have to say something. I just thought of this and it made me think of it. I took a nutshot yesterday on accident, and it was really, really brutal. I was playing monkey in the middle with my dog, so my wife and me were throwing a ball back and forth in our living room, and the dogs were chasing it back and forth, and my wife threw this wild curved hook, and it hit me right in the balls, and for whatever reason, sorry for the graphic nature or the description here, my balls were like, one of my balls was like hanging out like a balloon, and it was like just nailed it right in the sack, and it hurt pretty bad. I couldn't believe it. It was like, I was like telling my wife, I was like, that was worse than a lot of the kicks I've had to the nuts. But I think what I have to do is this is not fabrication. I used to just, when I was like laying in bed I didn't take like a nut shot for a couple of days or didn't do like a stunt, I would just hit myself in the nuts to just make sure I would never kind of lose that kind of mindset, or that I was afraid that I would go get hit in the nuts again and it would hurt me too bad, or I wouldn't be this inhuman beast, balls of steel, king of the nut shots anymore. So like, maybe I should start just giving myself a little tap here and there. make sure I'm good to go. Stoked to say, always liked your stunts, but really liked when you did your daily vlog with you and your family. I like you staying positive, horse. So yeah, I really, really like doing the vlog with my family, and I love it because I get to look back on that. So regardless if nobody watches it, I have these really, really amazing moments in my life that I can go back and I kind of have this like virtual diary of some really important things that happen in my life, or just normal days and to me, my family is really special. So just those normal things. So I try to cut together my day and do some entertaining things and film my family and make a really good video, and I do it all in one day, edit it and put it out the next day. And I'm going to continue doing that at times. Right now I've been just going live because I just have so much going on, and I figured if I'm vlogging all of the time like that and editing, it's just really hard on my recovery. And my symptoms have really been, actually my symptoms were pretty good today, but the last week have been really bad symptoms. It was just too much. So I'm kind of just trying to go live to give myself a break, and really, and it enables me to talk to you guys more personally, because if I was editing, I'd be up late and I wouldn't be getting sleep, and it would just be, it's just tough to get everything in. GW2333. I'm so horrible at saying these usernames. Said again. He left another comment. I try and show the nutshot power hour to friends, but nobody makes it 2 minutes into the video. It's brutal. It's a brutal thing. I think you got to be into pain or nutshots to really, really enjoy that video. Honestly, me personally, it's one of my favorite videos I ever did. When I did the video, or when I was trying out for this MTV show that I talked about earlier, I actually sent them that video of me and Ben, because I think that we just worked together so well, and there's some really good dynamics in there, that some funny stuff of our interactions while we're doing these stunts, that I just absolutely love that video. DJ Inster says, they call me nasty. So if you haven't seen that video, and that might be even why you know of me, I did this video almost, well, what, I was in 10th grade when I did this video. And I jumped down this hill, I yelled, they call me nasty. I was acting like a horse, and I jumped down this big rock hill, ate it, and just face planted into a bunch of big rocks. I broke my hand. It's kind of a bummer because that was the last year that I played baseball. I really liked playing baseball when I was little. And that was the last year I got to play. But that video got really big on MTV's Ridiculousness with Rob Dyrdek, and came like almost like a cult following. So it's crazy because there's probably a whole bunch of people that know about They Call Me Nasty and have no idea that I was the same guy on America's Got Talent. Even though when I was on America's Got Talent, I have a They Call Me Nasty shirt that I wore on the show every act that I was on. That's one of those really, really classic clips. If you watch, my intro and my outro, I think it's my intro and my outro that I do in all my videos, like with my logo on it, has the audio from the They Call Me Nasty clip, with my buddy Steve yelling out the horse, which before everybody called me the horse, before I really took on this nickname of the horse, people used to call me Nasty. So that's why my username is Nasty the Horse. It definitely differentiates it. So if you search into Google or search into YouTube, it's just not a whole bunch of videos of horses. It kind of separates it. So Nasty the Horse. But that was when I was real little and I was starting to do stuff. That's why my DVD that I came out, I was Nasty the Horse, because I would get real nasty. Nasty is the form that I took on what I was doing. And the horse was just like me as a daredevil, me as a stuntman. G-Dub says, what did it feel like to get hit in the nuts with that tire? How did you live? Looks like it should have crushed you. Then again, you're the horse. Yeah, that's that one thing. That tire nutshot, so tractor trailer tire nutshot that I took, go watch the video if you haven't seen it, was one of the most insane things I ever did. It's one of those things where my buddy, Jason, which is his birthday today. It's still his birthday, so happy birthday, Jason. Big shout out to him. Jason Gupton. I was down shooting with him. He had a stunt group called SDK, and he brought up this tire, and I was like, oh yeah, we can roll it down the hill off the ramp onto my nuts. It's going to be amazing. Saw the tire. The tire is like up to my chest. It weighs like 150 pounds, 200 pounds, whatever it weighed. Completely ridiculous. And I really, really should have said, no, I shouldn't do this stunt. But I didn't want to like backtrack on what I previously claimed that I was going to do. And I just went for it. And it was so bizarre because the adrenaline was up so high, I don't even remember it hurting at all. It like hit me so hard, direct hit, and it didn't hurt at all. And I like remember I had to like kind of sneak off to the side and just even make sure my testicles still existed in my pants, because I just couldn't believe that something hit me that hard and I was just able to walk it off instantly and be completely 100% fine. Not even like this slightest bit hurt. Just complete insanity. Will Dirty Jersey says the wife practiced that curveball all week. I bet she might have. She found it extremely amusing. Another one, Propsty13 said they call me asshole. Hello. Mama Wolf says they call me the wolf. So, all right, Blue Blind, do you think nutshots often in a way you found to accept the intense pain and it causes and its causes and deal with the fear of being hit at random? Yeah, I there's a lot of times where I notice that like normal people would flinch and I don't flinch. I get hit in the nuts all the time by my dogs, all the time with my kids, and I notice other people, other males, fathers that have kids, their kids kind of learn to not elbow and hit and kick in that area because of the way the parents react. Well, now my kids, when they're around other adult males, they don't have that concept because they're always running and jumping in on me, and I'm not really like freaking out. Like sometimes it hurts, but I'm like laughing, and it's definitely very different. It's definitely something that I can deal with really well. So I think over the years, I've gotten better with the pain. Um, Sometimes little things hurt. It's not like I don't feel down there. I do. Sometimes I getting kicked in the nuts really sucks. There's just no other way to put it. But I obviously handle it better than the majority of people. I don't think it would be as funny if it didn't hurt. It definitely hurts, and it definitely but I'm very quick at like kind of censoring out that pain and moving on. And there has to be something physically that I think I physically have strengthened that area and toughened up that area over the years. Because when I went on a couple doctor shows, I went on the TV show The Doctors, and I went on a doctor radio show on Sirius radio, and they actually gave me tests, and they actually gave me ultrasounds, and they actually felt my balls and kind of the anatomy of everything, and they said they could not believe that I actually did what I did, and that I was in the condition that I was in, like basically perfect condition. Could not explain it. So it was always like really crazy and wild to me. I still don't get physically. All right, I have a couple more comments here. I'm gonna have to get going soon. I've been on for an hour, which is crazy. I didn't expect to go on for this long. So I'm gonna answer a couple more, and then I gotta get going off. What is it, Thursday night? So tomorrow night I actually have a Ninja Jam. It's like a kind of, we're having an event with my whole parkour program at the gym I run, and I'm doing that in the evening. So I might not be able to come on for very long. So I'm not sure when I'm going to go live tomorrow, but it'll probably only be for like 5 minutes or so, just to give you guys a quick update. Hey Horace, do you think your CFS leak is going to be long-term affect your ability to do more extreme stunts that you want to do? I hope not. It's definitely a possibility. I think where it would really see a big change in the way I do things is probably stuff that involves height. So you probably won't see me jump off like 2-story buildings or do big drops onto impacts. But it wouldn't change. It wouldn't like stop me from doing nut shots. So there's no reason I couldn't take a kick to the nuts or lay down and do stuff like the tire nut shot or the bowling ball nut shot and kind of get creative in that way. So yeah, it could potentially, and it might just potentially, no matter what, even if I got completely healthy, the older I get, might change the scale and the ways that I do stunts. But even if I don't get better at all, like I'm still having crazy bad symptoms, I'll be able to do nut shots again. I'll be able to do certain stunts certain ways, and I won't it would be incorrect for me to say they won't be gnarly. Like there will be gnarly stuff that I do regardless of how this recovery goes. Most people just give me a call. All right, Pro. I'll start calling you Pro 13. I'm cool with that. I'm like just horrible at speaking some of these usernames. Like I joke around in my videos all the time. Like the English language that I've spoken and learned my whole life is far from my strong suit. I took speech classes when I was in elementary school. I suck at grammar. I suck at talking. All things that if I was really, really hard on myself, like I would before, or was before, like it would just eat me alive. That I just sounded so dumb. But I just kind of really came to the realization that I just am who I am. I have my strong suits. I have my things where I'm just not good at, and but self-realization and self being able to laugh at yourself is a huge strength. So it's not that I don't care if I sound dumb. Sometimes I do, but I ultimately, if you guys can make fun of me or think that it's funny when I screw up and I can't speak right, I'm completely okay with that. Stoke 2K says, saw you get pepper sprayed, but you could do the hot wings. Was with the last one 2 million on the Scoville chart. Yeah, so I'm definitely willing. I want to do more hot eating challenges. I tried to eat a whole one of the last videos I did before I kind of signed off of YouTube because of this injury was I tried to eat a whole bunch of ghost peppers in a Chipotle burrito. I love that stuff. I've done 15 million on the Scoville unit. It's like pure crystallized source of pepper. Forget the exact breakdown of what the terms are, but it's 15 million on the Scoville unit. It's like the pure hottest form that you can take. You actually mix it with grain alcohol and take it. I've done that before, but there's that California Reaper that I've never tried. I want to try that, and there's a bunch of stuff that I would like to do actually soon, maybe within the next couple weeks. I'm trying to work out my schedule because I'm not going to go out and film a stunt right now if I have my girls at home. But I want to work. I want to get some things. I'm thinking like this is, and I'll just say it. One of my stunts that I would like to do within the next couple weeks is I'd like to go out live on YouTube and eat some ghost peppers or some equivalent in front of strangers and like have them help me film, like just on the spot, get them involved and just see how the chaos happens from there. So that's one of the things I want to do really, really soon. Blue Blind, if you could choose never again to feel pain in the balls, would you? I would not. I would choose to feel pain. I think pain and fear are what keeps me healthy, keeps me safe, keeps me from getting too injured. And I don't like faking anything. So if I had to fake stunts, it would just that would suck. I really, really hate that. I like to. Sometimes I overreact to things, or like if I was in a serious situation, I got kicked in the nuts, I could probably just keep my mouth shut and walk away and act like nothing happened. So sometimes I let that stuff out when I don't necessarily need to. Not that it's fake, but like I just express myself outward. I'm not all serious about it. But like if I just stopped, like I got hit and it just took out my nerves, I never felt the hit again. I don't think it'd be as fun to watch. I don't think I'd feel like a fake. I'd feel like I wasn't being real. Or if I wasn't faking the reaction, and when I felt nothing, it would be me putting on a fake show, and I think I would get over that real fast. I like doing everything completely real. Oh, the kindest Sir Kenny. Do you think there is a chance that your CSF leak makes you more nasty? Also increases your sexy factor. Oh, leaking. I'd have to say leaking is not a sexy term. I don't think so. I don't think it's a sexy term. I think if you say leaking, it actually grosses most people out. So I think the fact that I did Ninja Warrior with a leaking spine, I did America's Got Talent with a leaking spine, I did some of the gnarliest stunts that I've ever done with a leaking spine, makes me more nasty. But sexy probably doesn't increase my sexy factor quite the way that I would like to increase it. Nutshots maybe for some. Leaking spine, not that sexy. Oh, all right. Would you love to watch, or would love to watch you make a video with LA Beast? I would love to do that. If I don't know if there's a way to search it. LA Beast did shoot a stunt with Nub TV at one point, and he gave me a big shout out and challenged me to a video. So we do kind of have some contact with LA Beast. I personally think his videos are great, and I think we would make an amazing video today, or make an amazing video together. So reach out to him, let him know you want to see a video with me and him, and he does some stuff that looks really, really fun, and I would love to do. Oh, Baby Wolf wants me to howl like a wolf. I don't think I can do that right now with my head. Um, I'll do that at some point for you, Mama Wolf. Maybe not tonight. Uh, all right, Martha's talking about two in 16 billion Scoville units. I don't know how to say that. Euphoriba. Yeah, I'm not gonna do something that's gonna kill me. It's a cactus. It'll kill you. Oh, okay. So it's like a. All right, it's a cactus that you eat, and it's super hot. No, I won't do that. I did eat a cactus once. A couple times I've ate a cactus, but the one time I did it for when I tried out for the MTV show, I ate a cactus, and nobody will ever see that footage. But I went hard. Um, Kenny is my kind friend. He says, "You're still sexy to me, kind sir. Well, you're sexy to me, the kindest of all sirs." Um, and then Stoke 2K says, "Start training for Nathan's hot dog contest." I don't think I have a too big of an issue if I was going to eat meat. Just so you guys know, I don't like to get into this a lot because people get really weird when you talk about this stuff. But I actually don't eat meat. I eat seafood, so I'm pescatarian. I don't like to talk about it much because everybody gets so crazy with vegans and vegetarians, and everybody has to hate on everybody else on what they choose to do. I tried to feed whatever I put in my body when it's not a stunt. I try to fuel my body to make my body operate as healthy as it possibly could so it acts at its full potential. It's something that I fail at a lot, especially when I feel bad, because food ends up being one of the only things that makes me feel good at times, and puts my adrenaline up. But that's not to say that I won't do any wing eating contests or hot dog. I would still probably do something like that, especially if it's for a video. But that's just like my honest. If you're ever wondering, like I'd like to get in more into that sometimes, but that's just personal choice that I don't like to discuss in the open. I try to avoid things sometimes that like offend people, even if there's no reason to be offended by somebody else's choice. I just don't. I just avoid getting into it. So yeah, no. Everybody make your own choices. Pro 13 says if you don't push it on me, we're all good. I don't wish to push it on anybody, and that's kind of why I don't talk about it, because I think you try to make the best choices for yourself. And even if I think some way is the best way, I have no business. If I think something's really good, I might share it with somebody I love or people, and ask. All I would ever ask is if I thought something really worked. Hey, like maybe you want to try this out, and you can take that yourself and try to decide whether you'd want to do it or research it or try something out, see how it works with your body, all that stuff. Like I'm not going to get super into that now, even, and I don't get into it often, but that's kind of how I feel about that stuff. And the last thing I want to do is be preachy about really anything. I want you guys just to be yourselves and be you and do you and be happy. So I'm gonna baby Wolf, or as I call her, Mama Wolf. Who's your number one fan? And it has to go to her. She's been so supportive, especially this last year. But I do thank everybody for tuning in. I have to mention, if this is your first time watching a video and you actually stuck in for an hour and 15 minutes, that's insanity. But I appreciate it. I didn't expect to talk that long. But if you like crazy stunts, if you like just a dude trying to be real and talk about his life and his recovery, hit that subscribe button. If you hit the little bell, it'll give you notifications anytime I upload or go live. And for the time being, I'll be recovering. I'll be posting my progress Monday through Friday in vlog form, whether that's live or in an edited format. And I appreciate you guys. There's that poor English that I was talking about. Appreciate you guys so much. Love you. Stay nasty. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Gotta do the outro. Why aren't you playing? You're supposed to play.
The horse!
Why did it stop? This is crazy. All right, guys, stay nasty. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.